What is happening with the time? This is so cool, but also super creepy. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka GeekXX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Secret Level, Season 1, Part 1, all the ones. Anyway, we are now on to episode 5, which is called Warhammer 4000, and They Shall Know No Fear. So I have heard of the game Warhammer as well, have not played it, but I believe it's kind of in the same type of idea of like an MMORPG to some degree, I think, but I might be wrong about that. But I'm looking forward to seeing it because I've so far enjoyed all the episodes. They've been a lot of fun. Some of them really kind of dramatic, or other ones were just a lot of fun. So I'm interested to see what kind of story we're going to hear in this episode. So if you are new here, welcome. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. If you'd like to be in the know of when I drop episodes to this show or anything else, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And also a reminder that I will be reacting to 2 episodes, the episode 5 and episode 6 in this reaction, just because they are quite short. So, all right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now.
The Imperium selects a chosen few.
Imperium, okay.
Children we break decades of condition. Those that survive are reborn
Sounds like
with
the military.
strength to level cities. But power must be controlled. A child who had never known fear.
That's terrifying. Those are the kind that turn into serial killers.
Soul like that be capable of.
Exactly. Damn, the grim darkness. Let's not put that in the universe.
Out of my way, old man.
The disrespect! Backhand him. Mission objective: Primus located and destroy apostate relic. Second is secure ordnance. Oh my god, Ultramarine Strike Squad. Mataris, Ikarin. Second company lieutenant. Projected mortality. Absolute. Okay. So they're not, it's a one-way trip?
I confirm.
Wow. What are all these? I thought it was piercings at first, but I guess not. That is some serious gear. So is he actually human, or is he like a cyborg now with all the stuff they've done to him? Okay, they all have that, so something to do with the suits, I'm assuming? Why is he still fighting, by the way? Like, he looks like he should be retired, no? Because we know black don't crack, so if he's already starting to look older, he probably is long past retirement date. Oh, yeah, my lunch would have been in my throat. Yeah, that planet does not look inviting even from the top. So who's the kid we saw in the beginning? Oh, we just make paper out of nothing on this planet. Okay, great. Beam me back up. You're on your own. They said, screw y'all. Okay, what in the Mad Max do we have here? It looks like these people are minding their business. Why are y'all here? Is that a coffin? Yeah, I'm getting Mad Max 5 for watching this. Locals. That is interesting that all of the symbols above them became skulls, I think. Like, they don't even get to live. That's it. The uniformity. That's a hell of a gun, and y'all are still riding. Y'all, I'm gonna keep doing this. Do y'all not have? Oh God. I don't know who I'm supposed to be rooting for here. Like okay, you did notice him. I just feel like, oh my God, for this many people, this is so. Oh my God, you just crushed a head. Y'all are something else. Okay, but don't y'all have like a weapon, like an AOE? You could just take out a bunch of them because this is brutal, bro. Well, you know, you got to give it to these men. They are either incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. Because if I see the first wave go down without so much as them breaking a sweat, I'm not going. What is in the box? Is that the last resort? Homie said, F your whole ride, man. That's a great shot. So they did have those. Maybe just not a lot of them. That's why he had to be sparing. Not gonna lie, these guys are kind of badasses. But like I said, I don't know if I'm supposed to be rooting for them. I don't know. Call me confused, but if you had that weapon the whole time, why didn't you start with... But I guess they had to make sure they all came out. Oh, that's the place that created the paper out of nothing? Oh. So whatever this is, I feel like it's got to be some type of witchcraft. Because why are they hallucinationing now? Oh, I just noticed a little intricate design like a Greek circlet on the helmet. That's a nice detail. Oh, there's just an abyss. Looks great. I'm not born! Did they leave the coffin up top? This POV is crazy. Oh, they brought it with them. How did that not slide ahead of them? That POV was crazy. Had me all disoriented and I'm not even there. Okay, that's cool. That looks really cool. And again, what are we killing with neon blood? Okay, they're some form of soldier? I'm not gonna lie, these guys are badasses. These guys are bad. Their shoes, their footprints, that's hilarious. Look at that! The detail in this one, guys. I'm liking it a lot. That's cool. Wait, how'd they get clean? Oh, I guess there's just lights here. So these guys don't talk? No communication? Interesting. Oh. Again, everything about this place definitely saying, come closer, keep coming. Nothing bad's gonna happen, I promise. Like, what? If foreboding was ever visually depicted. Okay. Sacrifice? It is someone. So is this just part of the control aspect? They just bring this man to ceremonially? Oh, is he creating the shield? That does make sense if that's the case. More sense. Hello, Skeletor! Oh, y'all, you met your match. He was making your shield. That sucks. Well, guess you'll have to fight for yourself. Oh, God. Whoa, the back was disgusting. More arms! Oh, this thing gets in your head. I had a feeling. I mean, they did say in the mission y'all wasn't coming back. So why do they keep sending this imagery? You crushed his head, but you're the one bleeding. What is happening with the time? This is so cool, but also super creepy. Oh, it's because this guy can stop time. That's why. Well, you can close that. Don't need to see any of it. You can keep it all closed.
Enraged.
I guess he grew into that. Damn. Well, I guess she shouldn't have brought him into the fold. Don't touch me. So none of y'all, I guess it's been happening. I was about to say none of y'all figured out to close your eyes, but then it hit me that this thing stopped time. That all happened in a matter of before the bullets even hit? Okay, so that's the child. And the reason that he defeated this thing is because he didn't feel fear.
Target confirmed. Ordnance inbound. Die well, brothers.
That's it? Yo, my brother didn't even want to go down there. Why are the Mad Max people coming back? What happened? Yo, I'm a little lost right now. So he didn't die. Yet.
Our duty is done. It's time to go.
Not yet, old man.
Huh? Oh, you gonna take them 1v1,000? Okay. I trust you can actually do it, bro. Wow, the detailing on that face. It is the same kid. Okay.
Could a soul like that be capable of?
Anything he bloody well wants. Running into the darkness. Wow, that imagery. Okay, guys. That one was dark, to say the least. but I'm just going to see if I can piece together what I'm picking up from the story here, because there wasn't a lot. Like, they didn't really give us a lot of exposition. They didn't really give us too much history outside of the narrator speaking of this world where children are selected from birth and they're basically turned into what we see there, a well-honed machine of a soldier who listens and obeys without any question, even if they know it's going to be to their death. And it says that all fear is either removed from them, and what little they have left is channeled into faith, into what I'm assuming is some form of a religion or something like that to keep them in control, which makes sense because most humans need a sense of belief in something, some form of a higher power, some form of higher life, whatever the case may be. Most of us, we cling to spirituality for various reasons. And especially if you take these kids where they're obviously not growing up in a traditional way, they're going to need something to justify this very unnatural behavior of being put in situation after situation, which is life-threatening and fear-inducing when you have nothing, like no family from the sounds of things, no friends. We saw that on that mission. They didn't even talk to each other until the very end. And so it's interesting. And I think it's with the title being They Shall Know No Fear. And we see that in the very first scene where our, I guess you could say, main character is receiving the mission, and you see that when he reads the part that says that mortality is mortality is guaranteed or whatever, you see that his expression, while it seems stoic, you could see the little micro expression, particularly in the eyes. He was scared. He actually did feel fear. And I think it's such an interesting thing to talk about that, because there's so many different shows and books and movies that explore the idea of being fearless, or, you know, the idea that you can make someone completely devoid of fear. And it's just fears we as humans, we have fear for a reason. It's not just something that holds us back. It's literally something that helps us to survive. And the older that we get, we tend to have more fears because we start to understand just how much danger there really is out there, but more comes from those. The older you get, the more you start to realize how precious life is, right? When you're young, you're experiencing everything, and everything's so new. You don't have enough experience to recognize all the different things that make life important. But as you get older, those things become more and more and more apparent. Unless, I mean, not all kids, like some younger people, depending on what they've experienced, they might have that insight early, but most of us have to live a certain amount of time before more things become apparent to us, and the desire to potentially not die in the most violent way possible. Right? Maybe just that. And so anyway, I'm looking at this character, and like I said, the face is wizened. We're seeing the wrinkles, the crow's feet, the gray, right? Like, he's been around for a minute. And again, maybe he hasn't. Maybe it's just because his life has been so intense with all these battles and situations that it's aged him. But I'm willing to bet that he's up there, right? I think he's been around for a while. So point being, as I said, the older you get, the more you start to value things, the more you start to realize maybe this is not what you want, or there's more. And so I do think he eventually did develop fear. He probably, if you'd seen him, whatever, 2-3 decades earlier, you wouldn't have seen the same fear. He might have been a little bit different, but now there's like a bit of trepidation, even though he knows he's got to go and do this. And so, like, even after he gets the mission, you see the micro expression, then he gets up and he acknowledges, and even the way his body language is standing up, you can see it's a burden, right? He doesn't want to do this. He's just like, it's taking everything in him to stand up and get ready to put his gear on. And then they show him walking with the gear, and it's so clear that, I mean, obviously gear is heavy, but it's more than just the physical weight. Like, he doesn't want to do this, right? Every step is so heavy because he does not want to do this, but he has to, right? And we're hearing the narration that he was the one, it sounds like, who found the little boy that he describes as a child that had never known fear. And that almost made him scared as well. Like, what can someone who's never had any fear, what are they capable of? So my guess is that during the trainings and as he was brought up, they probably noticed that this kid, unlike a lot of other kids, just kind of barreled through without the typical fears they normally run into. So it's understandable that would be like, is he okay? Should we be worried? But anyways, we get to see the whole mission, and that was phenomenal. Like, I'm sorry, that animation was top tier. That was great. I loved it. I was invested. I'm like, what is this planet? Who are these people? Everything from the surface battle and the brutality, the difference between these, what I would describe as like nomadic people, because we saw that they had minimal firepower and basically no armor. So, you know, for them going up against these well-honed machines who literally are just, you can see the way they move, it's robotic, it's precise, it's rehearsed. Like they're not even thinking at this point, right? It's all reflexes because they've done it so much. And then seeing that then to going to the underground. Again, I loved so much of the stuff that they did. The fact that they held scenes at certain moments to give a little bit of gravitas to them. So like when they first come down and we see our main character realizes he's got no links above, there's no help coming. They're alone there, right? And then he kind of lets out a bit of a sigh, right? And we hold that for a minute. And then after they take out the first wave of the nomads, they get to the edge of this abyss and we stop and we see that there's nothing. There's blackness, nothing to see, and their scans, nothing is giving them any information. So that alone for most people, like I said, for me, I'm not doing it. I'm going back. I'm going to stand there where I got beamed down and wait till they beam my ass back up. I'm not doing it. But anyway, they just hold it. They zoom out. They let us see how ominous this looks. And then presumably, I'm assuming the guy who is the kid with no fear jumps in and they all follow because that's what they have to do. And they keep going and then they face whatever those night beasts are. I don't know what else to call them. These things that are, you know, screeching in the dark, and their blood is like this fluorescent. And I love how the blood is what gave us the illumination that we needed, outside of course of the gunfire. But just seeing the illumination from the blood was such a cool way to add new coloring and just a different aspect of doing this whole scene in the dark, right? So again, just creative, wonderfully done. And as I said, even the blood on the bottom of their boots marking their footsteps as they walk along, just so smart, so beautiful. But anyway, they eventually get to where they're going with this entire thing. We see that they've been carrying this case, which, like I said, I think someone's in there because it kind of looks like a coffin, but it looks like it was their priest, for lack of a better term. And that this priest could, through its prayer or chanting, could create a barrier. But whatever it is that they went after, and I remember in the screen at the beginning, I think it said a heretic. There was so much information, I didn't keep up, and I thought about rewinding it, but for such a short episode. Anyway, we see that this thing, whatever they were going after, creepy as hell in that design. I got to give them all the props. That thing was creepy. The way that it's the way they incorporated the different ways the skeleton moved, to the way that its spine, you know, fanned out and also wrapped back in. Like all of that was both creepy and oddly satisfying to watch. And then we see that this battle, and I love the way they depicted where they fire all the bullets. First of all, he takes out the priest, so there's no barrier to protect them. And then he throws a knife, takes their priest out, and then they all fire their guns at the same time. And we see that whatever this thing is, it seems to somehow stop time. Like that's what I'm taking from it. Maybe I misinterpreted, but it looked like he had the ability to stop time. And in not even the milliseconds, the microseconds of that time stoppage, he took out 2 of the 4. And we see that the way that it did it is it got there and basically looked in their eyes. And I don't know what this thing could do, but it looks like it got in their heads, because I love that it focused in on their eyes and had the eye reflecting back what they were looking at. But then it was like they were in a completely different landscape. Like whatever this thing was creating, it was in their world now. And in a matter of seconds, just took them out, right? This thing didn't even wield a weapon against them. It just did all of it through whatever weird, crazy ass magic that it has going on. And what I think is interesting though is that my guess is that it went and potentially took their fears and turned it against them, which again, they're not supposed to have fears, but like I said, it's impossible to completely drive fear out of a human unless you like remove that part of the brain, right? So I'm not sure, but that's kind of what I took, and that's why the other 2 went down. But then we get to our main character and we see that his fear is around this kid that he's watched grow up. Like he's scared of what this kid, I guess, could become or what it represents to see someone like that. But for whatever reason, he doesn't die. Whatever this thing is, it stabs him, but it doesn't, whatever he did to the other ones, like they were like bleeding internally, like they were bleeding from their eyes and stuff. So I don't know what he did to them, but when it came to this guy, it stabbed him, which, you know, yes, it can be fatal, but compared to the other 2, not as final. You know what I'm saying? And then we see he gets to the last character, who is the child who grew up with no fear, and he tries to do the same thing, but then basically this dude said, "Oh, you thought I was scared. Oh, you thought this was your part? Yeah, no. You're gonna fear me. That's what's gonna happen. I have no fears here. Like this is a fear-free shop, but I just made one for you. Right now, I am your worst fear." And this thing didn't even know what to do because it showed everything, right? It opened its nasty flap head, showed all of its weird eye mouth thing going on. Stuff of nightmares, right? Dude was like, "That's all you got? That's cute. Die." Right? My man sliced that thing in half before the bullets even finished firing. So that yeah, just gotta put the hands up for that one, because that was crazy. So that's what ended up happening. They took out the target, but really it was him. The fearless kid ended up being the one to take down this thing of nightmares. And then we see that once that happened, they were able to establish their communication back with the ship, and he ended up taking our main character back with him when honestly he could have left them, right? He could have left him to die, and we know that that was the expectation, was that the ship assumed that there would be no survivors anyway. So we see that once he brings him to the surface, our main character is like, why did you bring me here? Like, my mission is done. And honestly, I think like he wants it to be done, right? Like he doesn't want to do this anymore. And he's like, let it go. Like you can try to go or you can end it. And bro said, nah, we're not done yet. Nope. Not on my watch. I'm gonna keep fighting. And since you're still alive, I'm gonna protect you till you keep fighting. So I don't know what that means. I don't know whether or not they're gonna get beamed back to their ship or this means freedom for them or what, but interesting. And again, the way it ended, it's not even so much that I want to see the next battle. I want to know what's coming next, right? Because in the beginning of the episode, when we hear the man say, what can a child who's never had fear, what could he become? He said it in fear in the beginning, like almost like that's something wrong. But at the end of the episode, it almost sounded like hope, like, oh my gosh, this kid's actually going to carve out a new life for us. Like maybe with someone like him, this could be different, if that makes sense. So anyway, that's what I took from it. Really liked it. Great episode. One I definitely want to rewatch because I feel like I probably missed a few things, but that was good. I enjoyed it. Not sure if I ever want to play Warhammer though, because that was terrifying. All right, let's move right on to episode 6, which is Pac-Man. Circle, which is, yes, I have played Pac-Man. I have played Pac-Man on an Atari. I've played it in the arcade. I've played many times, many ways the Pac-Man. It's an old game, but it's pretty simplistic. Like, I'm wondering how they're going to make a storyline out of this, because in all the games I've played, it's basically just a little character that likes to eat little pebbles and avoid ghosts. That's pretty much the premise. So what they're going to do with that, how they're going to turn this into, how long is this? Into a 10-minute episode or 8-minute episode? I'm intrigued. So let's jump into that right now. This looks a lot like, if you watch X-Men 97, this looks a lot like the chamber that was on the asteroid on Magnus's asteroid. Please don't tell me that that chamber is what allowed you to breathe. Ew. Even when it's animated, I hate it.
Who am I?
Better question. You are the chosen.
To
And
what?
only the chosen may escape the maze.
Can I get some pants? Close enough. Looks great. Let me just put me back in, please. Can we eat those? I feel like I'll make you high. Okay. I mean, it doesn't mean they're inedible just because you're not used to the taste. Oh, is that a sword?
What is my purpose?
You eat.
I don't understand.
You will.
Jeez. Oh no, imagine being dragged across the jungle floor with your bare back. That is a rash that's just not gonna quit. Ooh.
You understand now.
There's
Eat
another one.
or be eaten.
Why'd you bring me out here? Go back to the pod.
But you will escape the maze. You will open the door.
How many times have you said this to
Because
people?
you are the chosen.
The chosen.
This feels like a pitch. Yeah, that animal said, I already know what you was looking at me for, sir. Oh, maybe not. Not the hedgehog. I don't remember Pac-Man being this violent. Yes, right. How dare you eat her baby. Okay, well done. Albeit by accident. Yum. You say so. That doesn't look cooked, bro. Let's not investigate.
Kill it.
You'd kill it.
Eat it.
No.
Can't eat a ghost.
Of course you can. You can eat them over and over.
No, you'll die.
Just never their eyes.
Ha ha.
Eat or be eaten.
What the hell is flying up? Oh my god.
To practice.
Practice what? Whatever it is, I'm not interested. The fact that you still don't have a proper pair of pants.
You will open the door.
To more mazes, more challenges.
Eat. It's time.
Not that bloody handprint.
This is it.
Okay, I'm not impressed. Put me back in the pot. All right, Gorilla Grodd, calm down. Exactly. Calm down. Respect. Charge at me when it's my house. You sure you were the chosen one?
Can't.
I know.
What are you doing?
Miss Pac-Man!
Escape the maze.
What's happening? No!
The rest of them are like, that's okay, you got this, Gorilla Grodd. You wanted to stay here?
You are the one trapped.
True.
There's strength in repetition. There's strength in repetition. There's strength in repetition.
Oh, I guess you do need a body to get through. All right, rinse, repeat. Gonna go unlock another pod and try again. Right? Oh my God, how many of them are there? Oh man. They said the strength and repetition, but clearly it's not working for you, Pac-Man. Or woman? Pac-Thing?
You must be hungry.
Okie doke. They said, all right, we're going to make Pac-Man a horror. I guess y'all thought it was cute. You thought this was fun and games and jokes. That is actually funny. And, I would have never thought of going that way with Pac-Man of all things, but that took imagination, not gonna lie. But not so much to say about this. It was pretty straightforward. Apparently, the Pac-Man entity is trapped in this maze, which, yeah, the game, Pac-Man never actually leaves the maze. It's always, you clear one level, there's more. That's all there is to it. What does Pac-Man do? Eat, right? So anyways, interesting take. But I think one of the cool things that I thought was interesting in this was whatever this thing was, the fact that it kept having moments of, wait, what am I doing throughout the whole thing? Like its natural resistance to wanting to take out the animals, its natural aversion to the ghosts. And then at that point when it's eating these animals raw, there's blood all over his face. It's like, he didn't even want to look at himself, right? So clearly some things very wrong there. Whatever Pac-Man has been doing to try to get these people to do what they want to get out of the maze is not working. And I think what's interesting is I like that they came around with that line of repetition repetition has benefits or whatever. And it's like, yeah, it's true. The more you do something, the easier it becomes. But there's also the expression that says that at the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, right? So we don't know how many times this has happened, but I figured out immediately, especially when it kept saying, oh, you're the chosen one. You're the one to get us out of here. You're the chosen one. I'm like, this feels like a pitch. It feels like something that's been rehearsed, said a lot of times, because you're not the first and you probably won't be the last. And we see that there's a bunch of whatever these people are, and Pac-Man just gonna go through all of them, I guess, until they hopefully eventually get one that will allow them to overtake their body and get out of the maze. But it looks like either the host has been killed too soon in the past, or it's been like this one where they realize what's going on and they refuse to allow Pac-Man to take over their body to do this. So anyway, interesting take, I gotta say. Very, very interesting take on a very simplistic game. And I think they did a good job in a very short time to, like I said, how do you build a story out of a game that effectively has no plot? But they did it. And as I said, interesting, very creative indeed, but definitely does not make me want to go out and play Pac-Man anymore. It's definitely going to give me, I'm going to be side-eyeing Pac-Man if I ever see it again. Like, what's really going on here? Why are you eating all these pebbles? What is the point? But anyway, that was fun, guys. I enjoyed both the episodes. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I will see you in the next one.